聞こえんのか。これで聞こえてるのか。これ聞こえてる？聞こえてる。聞こえてぬ。あ、聞こえてる。よかったよかった。ワーンってもうそんな時間。よーし、what's up? Apa kabar? Hey, you wanna come up online? So, uh, okay. So,
What's
yo,
going
what's up?
down? How's things, man? Everything good?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, although we've stuck in home like 24/7 pretty much. But
Yeah, well,
yeah.
same thing. I've been home for like, oh, wow, more than a month now. I think like probably
Mm.
going towards like 6 week probably now.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. Wait,
I
so how's the
haven't I,
situation in Jakarta right now?
well, it's like a semi lockdown kind of deal.
Uh-huh.
It's not really a lockdown, but like restaurants are not open, malls are not open.
Right.
Um, um, I think public transportation is limited to has limited hours now,
Mm.
so it's
Mm-hmm.
operates from I think 12 hours, 6 a.m. to
Right.
6.
Uh-huh.
That's like MRT buses, all those.
Or the public
But
transportation.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
some restaurants are closed, but the ones that are not closed, you can
Uh-huh.
do takeaways,
Gojek?
and yeah, Gojek, you know.
Gojek is
Actually,
still available.
yeah, like the government's actually trying to encourage people using either Grab
Right.
or Gojek, right?
Uh-huh.
And to like deliver stuff. So yeah, I mean those guys have been pretty busy running around Jakarta, man, just
Mm.
delivering
I
stuff
bet.
and food and whatever people's needs. So
Right.
yeah, but what else been going on? Yeah, we're going through this like so yesterday was like a social distancing thing, right?
Mm.
Now it's becoming a physical distancing, you
Okay.
know. Yeah. So basically,
Well, what's the difference?
well, social is like, you're not supposed to
Two
gather in like public
meters.
areas, right?
Right,
Two
right.
meters, things
Yeah.
like that. Now physical distancing is more uh, like no one's like, okay, now it's like fasting month, right?
Right.
And usually what happens is like people go back to their homes, and they go back to their hometowns, right?
Uh-huh.
And now they're not allowed to legally. So, if you
Oh
get
shit.
caught
Uh-huh.
going back to your villages, to where your hometown is,
Mm.
they can catch you, and there's like a fine and whatnot. Either you get
Wow.
fined, or they put you in jail. Of course, like
Holy
there's always
shit.
like a warning first.
Uh-huh.
There's a warning first, but if you get caught, like seriously get caught, then you might
Yeah.
get into trouble. I think the fine is like 100 million rupiah and like 1 year
Right.
jail time.
Oh
You know,
God.
yeah, man.
Wow.
It's
It's been
serious,
pretty
but
serious over there, huh?
well, they're saying that Jakarta is like kind of improved, right? You
Mm.
know, the graphic has been kind of like they flattened the curve, I guess,
Right.
but the government's like, okay, we flattened the curve in Jakarta, but like experts are like, well, it's there, but it's not there yet. So yeah, it's kind of working, the whole social distancing, but it still requires a lot of time, and I think
Right.
people need to be more disciplined,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, how's it going
Wow.
over there?
I think it's pretty chill compared to like, the situation over there or, those countries in like Europe or North America.
Mm,
Here, pretty much like, people still um like go to supermarket or convenience stores,
mm,
to the parks and like mountains and, beaches
mm.
and stuff. So I don't know if like just being stuck home
Mm,
has helped this situation, like flatten the, what do you call it, um, the infection rate lower.
mm.
But yeah, like nobody really knows what's going on. So like I don't dare to say anything about what the government has been doing and
Yeah,
like nobody's really yeah, nobody knows like what's actually going on. Like you can't really tell like who is, infected and who is not
yeah,
because like not everybody, went through the PCR check thing. So
yeah. Well, that's
yeah.
that's why that's why they're telling people to stay home, and or not only stay home, but like try to avoid public areas, try to avoid
Mm,
places where there's a lot of people. You know,
right.
of course, over here, the convenience store is still open. People still go
Yeah.
to the supermarket. I mean, I went to the supermarket like about 2 weeks ago. You know,
Mm,
just to get whatever the house needs, right? And
mm,
people are there, but like everybody's like full gear, right?
right.
Like mask and the whole 2 meter distancing is
Mm,
applied. But of course, you're still gonna see some people in the supermarket, wearing no mask and
mm,
like you know just basically ignoring the 2 meter thing.
mm,
Like I had to basically tell somebody off. I think last week, right? I went to this
mm.
Korean market. No, sorry, I went to a fruit like a fruit market. You know,
Tokobua.
uh, yeah, yeah, it was Total Buah Segar, right?
Mm,
You know, so I went there. I mean, like the store is not that big, right?
mm,
And so I was there. I mean, it wasn't packed, but there were a lot of people. But so when I went up to the cashier, I asked the cashier lady, I'm like, you guys have like a customer limit over here? She's like, yeah, we
mm,
have. We try to limit people coming in,
mm,
and but she was telling me stories like like she actually asked somebody to she asked somebody, one of the customers, hey,
mm,
how come you're not wearing a mask, right?
mm.
And the lady was she told the cashier lady was like, yeah, I got yelled at so many times by customers because
No,
they
no.
they customers find that offensive,
Yeah.
when you remind them to wear masks. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So another thing, when I was there, there was this
mm,
guy staying in line to pay for for the same cashier that I was at.
mm.
The guy was just like he was like, I don't know, I don't know why he was in a rush or something like that, but
Yeah.
you know he totally forgot about the whole 2 meter thing. Like he was so close to me. I'm like, bro, like
Mm.
back up, please. Okay. And he's like, okay. You know, I'm like,
Wow.
dude,
So
like these
tensed up.
people. So it's hard, man, because like of course, like I think globally government tries to remind people not to do this and that, and try to take
Mm,
care of yourself. But at the end of the day, whether it's social distancing or not, I
mm.
think people are just used to the way people are just used to living the way
We used to
they
live.
were doing it before this whole COVID
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard for people to break that thing. It's
Mm.
it's a habit.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
it's you know, now it's called the new normal, right? You know, like you have
Right.
to do that, and you know, the new normal for me is kind of like going basics, right? It's like,
Mm.
you know, you're growing up and your parents like, hey, wash your hand, you
Right.
know, like go take a shower, you know, keep
Mm.
yourself clean or take care of
Yeah.
yourself. That's basic stuff, and
Yeah.
people don't really care about stuff like that,
Mm.
you know, before this whole COVID thing, and that's like the normal stuff back then. Now it's like, okay, you know, you got to get back to like the real deal. You got to get back to like the standards, like the discipline, you know. And
Right.
for
Right.
people to be disciplined, that's really hard, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's different from region to region. You know,
Mm.
like I mean, um, like Japan, like a couple of times I went there.
Yeah.
You know, like people seem to be very hygienic. You know, I
Yeah.
think
Well, relatively, if you compare
yeah.
to Indonesia.
Yeah, like you know,
Uh.
cab drivers wear gloves, and you know
Yeah.
the whole mask thing too, right? You know,
Yeah.
I think people who work in Japan, most like when I was just walking in public, you know, a lot of people wear
Mm.
masks and gloves, and you know, especially like you know, I think policemen, like basically people who work on the streets, you know, like cab
Mm.
drivers and all that, like they kept themselves pretty hygienic.
Right.
Stores, restaurants, everything, you know.
Yeah.
And you don't see like garbage anywhere, you know, things like that, you know.
Mm.
As well as Singapore. Singapore is like that too, right? You
Mm.
know, very disciplined kind of population, right?
Mm.
Indonesia, it's like, I mean, you know, Jakarta is actually quite disciplined compared to like other states,
Mm.
other cities,
Other countries. Yeah.
you know. But in Jakarta, only in like the south side, you know, everybody seems to be kind of like disciplined, right?
Mm.
You know, but if you go east side or like you go to west side or like
Mm.
centralized, you know,
Mm.
you get a couple of goons there, and like you know, like people are prone to you know to be less disciplined in those areas.
Yeah. Well, someone said it's not easy to have clean water to wash hands at, southern regions and areas.
You
Do you
mean
think
northern? You mean?
that's, huh?